John the Baptist prepares the way, pointing to Jesus as the one who makes the world right, takes away the things in the world that hide the goodness and the beauty of life and the goodness and beauty in each and every one of us. Jesus is the one who enables us to go beyond the superficial. An author recently commented that Americans spend 11 hours a day staring at our screens, constantly monitoring the news, which can affect our emotional state, our energy level, our mental health, and even our world view. So today, John the Baptist calls us to expand our horizon, maybe even to detox ourselves from our electronic addictions. John the Baptist points out that Jesus is the one who enables us to go beyond. Go beyond to the Spirit, where love is experienced in its deepest level, beyond the limits we impose on our own world. As a Christian community, we are called to be prophets. Those are the pointers. We are called to be pointers, like John the Baptist, pointing out, there he is. We heard that in the very first reading. We're called to be servants and prophets, pointing out the presence of God in our daily life, pointing to something more. Henry David Thoreau in Walden writes, "I went into the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to face only the essential facts of life." Today, as individuals, today as a church, we're asked to live deliberately, having the capacity to see God, not only in the tragedy of life, or in the distress that surrounds us, or in the hurt that can touch any one of our lives. But we need to see and feel the presence of God working in the life of a first responder in our own city, a relief worker in Australia fighting to save the lives of all God's creation, or in the rescue workers going to assist the people of Puerto Rico after the recent earthquake left 8,000 homeless and 40,000 camping outside their homes. Or maybe just see God's presence in the life of a caring neighbor or a friend. It's time for us to live deliberately. But there's a certain disease in living as servants of Christ, because it calls us to rise beyond the surface of an outwardly religiosity. We must live, each of us, recognizing the sacredness of all life, living our prophetic mission. Remember, when we were baptized, we were all anointed as prophets. We need to fulfill that role, but we have to do that deliberately, not being afraid to express the deepest hopes of the people we meet each day, pointing through our lives to a hope that they can't even begin to imagine. Sometimes as church people, there seems to be such a wide disconnect between our pious platitudes and the real-life traumas that touch people's lives. Philip Yancey, in his book, What's So Amazing About Grace, tells the story of a prostitute who, when she was encouraged to go to church for help, responded, "Church? Why would I ever go there? I already feel terrible about myself. It will just make me feel worse." This week, as we remember Martin Luther King Jr., a man who recognized the potential imagination within God's people in creating and pointing the way to a better world, pointing a way to live more deliberately. You and I, our lives, as people here at Christ the Servant, are called to point to a new future, truly showing a way for our children, pointing to a dream which our common life, our common struggles, our common humanity will point to who we are at our best. Will point out not only are we God's beloved, but we are also God's beloved community. Remembering that in order to save the future, first we must save the present. God bless you.